Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to Cask 529. I'm Bryan.
And I'm Shona.
And Shona has me set up with some kind of a...
double blind for Bryan tonight.
We'll be right back, guys. All right, guys. So, Shona, what have you done to me here?
I'm not telling you. That's all I'm going to say. I just would like you to go through these, give your honest to goodness opinion of them, your tasting notes, line them up, decide which one's your favorite, and we'll go from there. We'll see how it all comes out.
Honest to goodness, are they the same thing?
They did not all come out of the same bottle.
Usually
No.
when you do this to me,
No. Promise you, I did not.
there's some kind of a catch. Okay.
Oh, there's not a catch. We'll just see how you like them all. I will tell you that you have had all three of these.
I have had all three of these? Is that what you said?
I'm pretty sure, yeah. Maybe not, but I'm pretty sure. I'm getting a lot of caramel and a little bit of a brown sugar note. I'm getting some baking spice.
Definitely getting sweet. I'm not getting a lot of spice at all. Maybe a little hint of it, but...
A little bit of char and honestly a tiny, tiny note of tobacco.
I want to note before I go any further that 1 and 2 are slightly, ever so slightly lighter in color than 3. 3 seems to be a little bit darker.
Yep, I agree with that.
So before I change the levels of them here. That's really low proof, I think. Kind of a brown sugar, vanilla. It's definitely, you definitely know you're drinking bourbon.
Mm-hmm.
It's not so mild and thin. It's not even really thin.
Yeah, it has a little bit of a creaminess
Yeah,
to
it's
it.
just got a little body to it.
Yeah, I mean it is thin, but not like watery.
Yeah.
So it doesn't drink like water. It has a little bit of creaminess, little bit of has good notes. I'm picking up some of that brown sugar I mentioned on the nose. Definitely the caramel, the vanilla, a little bit of spice, and maybe a hint of char on the end.
A little bit, very little bit char.
I'm getting the vanilla note is really staying with me on that taste. The finish doesn't last a long time. However, that vanilla note does linger as the last note for me.
Like I said, it's not super thin. I wouldn't call it really thin. But for no thicker than it is, it really coats your mouth well. Mm-hmm. I get some spice on my palate almost immediately. Mm-hmm. And it covers my whole mouth. So it does coat well.
Yeah. Would you drink that one?
Yeah, it's not bad. I'm going to stick with the fact that I think it's low proof because I don't think it's that complex. It doesn't offer a lot, but it does offer flavors.
Yeah, there's not much burn on it
I think
at all.
that would be good. Anybody starting out in the bourbon, I think that could handle that.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I would agree.
Okay.
On to number 2.
Now, this one's got some more pepper on it, some spice.
It does. It almost makes your nose tingle a little bit there
Yeah,
when you
there's
first.
char there.
Yeah, very good. Still, you can get a little bit of the caramel vanilla notes through there, but definitely the spice and the char, it really tingles your nose.
It does. It hits your nose pretty hard. Not like make your eyes water, take your breath away, or anything like that, but you know what you're getting. It's a little heavier.
Definitely coats your mouth.
It's really weird because I could smell a lot more of the spice on the nose, but it seems to be a little more mild even. The hug, there's a little more hug on that one.
A little bit, yeah. But I'm getting some of the spice on it, but I don't think it enters your palate at the beginning as much, but on the end, I can still have like that tingling of spice on the palate.
Yeah, it's.
But I'm getting a lot of brown sugar, vanilla, and caramel on it.
Try it again. Rex just figured out we were downstairs. Vanilla's really heavy on that.
It is. It is, yeah, definitely shining through the caramels, the vanillas, char on the end with the baking spice.
It's pretty nicely rounded. I mean, as far as everything goes on that one.
I'm almost picking up a little bit of a cocoa note on the finish of that one too.
I didn't get that. Maybe I'll get it when I come back though. Guys, before I forget, if you would, please hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already done so. Drop us a comment. I'm sure by now you know what we're drinking. I do not. Let us know in the comments if you've had these, what you think of them.
Yes. I'm holding back on my tasting notes until Bryan kind of gives his. Just because I don't want to, lead him down a path I want him to say, but then I'll also give mine.
I'm not getting any baking spice or anything like that on there.
Really?
Maybe a little bit of sweetness.
Definitely some sweetness, a little citrus note, honestly.
I got far more out of number 2 than I get out of this.
But I'm also getting fruit notes. With the brown sugar.
I might get a hint of some fruit there on when I switch sides of my nose, but
yeah, it makes a difference. You can definitely. I don't know who taught us that a long time ago, but like taking smells out of the.
Yeah, it does. It makes a difference. I don't know. Let's see. Man, I should have got something on the nose of that. Wow. I've got to say it doesn't surprise me based on color. Definitely a lot heavier. A lot more char, oak, some baking spices. I'm getting a little bit of the brown sugar, but not very much. I mean, just a hint, really.
Yeah, definitely picking up the vanilla and caramel.
Vanilla, yep.
A lot of char on the end, and a lot of maybe baking spices, but a lot of cinnamon actually is coming through for me on the end as well this time around. It's not a ton, I shouldn't say a lot, but it has more of a cinnamon presence in the baking spices than just a blend of baking spices.
It's really
definitely hanging on. It coats your palate.
It's so bold on the nose.
Yeah, on the nose, definitely a lot of, for me, a fruity note with that brown sugar. This time I'm picking up more of the oak presence as well.
second sip, I got a lot more of the brown sugar. The oak is still, no question about it, in the char, but the brown sugar presented itself a lot more.
So what do you think of these before you go back through them?
Overall, I think they're 3 good pours. I obviously, if I'm choosing from these 3 and I know what they are so that I can relate, I know what that is, I know what that is. One's probably my last choice. That's just not the characteristics that we look for in a pour. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. I think when we started our journey, we'd have probably been all over that. But I could be, you know, and I could be wrong. That could be some proof point that it'd be like, how is that?
Could be.
But I doubt it.
Hey, before we go back through these, I just want to give a shout out to our newest patrons, Mike Rowe and Paul Gazella. Thank you so much. We really appreciate your support.
Thanks, Mike and Paul. We do appreciate everything you do to support us.
Yes, thank you. All right, let's go back through and line these up so you can find out what they are.
Can have a little more water.
As you come back through, I want you to do me a favor as well. Think of price points that you would pay for these. Just what the value would be to you.
You're turning this into an aptitude test.
No, it's not a right or wrong. It's just good to know what you would pay for it.
Okay.
As in the whole bottle.
Do you have an extra piece of paper?
Here. You could write on the back of that one.
Okay.
No, not that one. Right on the back of that one. Had the wrong paper.
Okay. So, do you want me to disclose that now or at the end?
You can disclose it at the end.
Okay.
Or you can say it now. What would you pay for number 3?
Well, what I would like to pay for
No.
versus, I don't know.
If you were going
Okay, I won't
to,
write
what
it
would
down.
you expect to pay for that?
I'm going to say that's probably somewhere around a $90 bottle.
A $90 bottle?
Okay.
Okay.
That's what I think I should be able to pay for that.
Okay. Let's go to number 2.
Also, this coming Wednesday night is the final round
Of our trivia night for October.
for October.
Yep, not the final.
Somebody's
Trivia.
going to win a bottle of Eagle Rare that night.
Yep. Based on the points. Looking forward to it. Then we'll take a week off and then we will start November's whiskey trivia. It's a great time. So if you've not joined us for whiskey trivia on Wednesday nights, it starts at 9 p.m. Eastern time. We normally play every single Wednesday night, but since October had 5 weeks in it, we're just playing the first 4. So be sure to come back and come join us. It's a lot of fun, a lot of prizes. How much would you pay for that one?
I'm not going to call that one yet until I taste one again,
Okay.
because it's kind of tasting different than it did the first time through.
I would agree with that. I think number 2 is a lot sweeter, the second.
I feel like it had a a lot more depth to it coming back.
Yeah.
So I don't want to, I got to compare it to one before I.
You know, the oak really popped at number one that time for me. Like it was
It did.
really present.
And it's really weird because it still is so mild until that oak pop.
Mm-hmm. It is. It's a nice oak pop. It's like an oak popsicle. It's not.
That's an outer ring.
Yep, I know. It's an outer ring.
That's an outer ring on the tasting wheel.
All right. How much would you pay for number two?
Okay, I'm going to go back to number two, and I'm going to say that I would probably expect to pay somewhere between somewhere around $60, I think, for number two.
Okay. And then how much would you pay for number one?
I think one's like a bargain pour, really. I think one's like a $35 pour.
A $35, a pour or a bottle?
Or a bottle, I'm sorry.
All right. All right. So which one do you like the best?
3.
3. Then which one?
3, 2, 1.
3 to 1. And I would put them in that same order, to be honest. I would
Yeah,
definitely
it's just,
put them.
Again, I would drink any of them.
Mm-hmm.
3 has more of the tasting notes and those that I feel I enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
That would be the most enjoyable pour for me.
Yep. I completely get that. Well, let me show you your $35 bottle first.
Okay.
Okay. So your $35 bottle is no other than Blanton's single barrel.
Which is now in Ohio an $80-ish bottle.
As before tax, it's $74.99. So this here is
So that's my bargain pour.
Your bargain pour for. Trying to find the front of it.
Hey guys, I'm gonna disclose this, and this may or may not be a popular opinion. If you've watched the show, you know this though. I'm not a big Blanton's guy.
Like
This bottle.
no, I get that. So you ready for your $60 bottle?
Yeah.
Okay. Which is no other than Blanton's Gold, which is $128.99
And this all makes
at
sense now
MSRP.
because this is going to be straight from the barrel.
So your $129 bottle, you said you would like to pay $60 for it. And then your first place one that you picked first and said was a $90 bottle.
So this is number 2, right? This was number 2.
Yep, this was number 2. I'm just going in order here. Was the Blanton's straight from the barrel at $159.99 at MSRP. So
I failed miserably.
it wasn't about getting the price right. It's really about how much would you expect to pay for the juice inside.
So here's what's really funny about this. Before we were really on this journey, we had friends that liked Blanton's. And Blanton's, I feel like, was it wasn't easy to find, but it was a little easier to find than a period of time that we went through. It's kind of gotten easier again now for this one.
Oh yeah, yeah, only this one.
Yeah, only
those
that
ones are still hard.
So Shona actually was able to get us a couple bottles of that. And our friends came and they made us try it with them. So terrible. You remember?
Well,
It was like,
we did not drink whiskey at that time at
No,
all, and
no.
so it was really hot.
and I
It
said this was
like,
before we started on
yeah,
this journey.
it was
It
like,
was-
oh,
Terrible. And now today I'm saying that's a bargain pour. That's a
Funny how
$35 bottle.
funny how our palates change.
Yeah,
and our
I mean,
taste buds.
it's and what is it, 93 proof, I think?
Yeah. So
Yeah, 93
Blanton's
proof.
single barrel is 93 proof. The gold is 103, and our straight from the barrel is 128 proof. And so I know we went over this before, but for some who may not know, the Blanton's is part of the Buffalo Trace mash bill number 2, which is the higher rye, which people say should be around the 15% rye in their mash bill.
Because they don't disclose
They
that.
do not. So that's just speculation. And so, yeah, the proof points go up significantly, you know, from 93 to 103 to 128. So
Yeah.
definitely you should have felt that heat on that
Yeah,
last one.
and that's a really nice proof point.
Nice pour, but you feel that it should be priced at $90.
I mean, there's probably people out there that think it should be lower than that.
Yeah, there's some people that would pay $500 for that though.
Yeah, I'm not.
No. So, did you like your blind?
I did. It was a good blind. It was a good comparison to have all three of them. Proof points are, I shouldn't say proof points, what I'm willing to pay for them are a little skewed, but
Yeah. But you know, it was really just to get it out there what the juice is worth inside the bottles.
yeah. Yeah, so it was a great blind, and thanks for setting that up for me.
No problem.
And so I hope you guys enjoyed it, and that's all we have for tonight, right?
It is, yes.
So until next time, be safe, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.